Let's make some spilled glue bottle sculptures. To create them, you're going to need Model Magic, plaster gauze strips, and one of these guys, an air pocket. So once you've got your supplies, you're going to start by putting some rigid wrap or plaster gauze strips on that air pocket. When you do, you'll want to make sure that you squeegee all of the extra or excess water off the plaster strips. My favorite way to do that is pretend my fingers are like scissors and I just kind of slide them down the plaster gauze strip. Once the strip is laid on your air pocket, you'll want to make sure that it's on there nice and smooth. If you don't smooth it out and it's really lumpy and bumpy, it's going to dry lumpy and bumpy. As you're doing this, you'll probably notice that the air in the air pocket is going to start to shift and move around a little bit. It's even going to get quite a bit heavier due to the plaster. Just be patient and make sure you don't squeeze the pocket too much. It's okay if it pops after the plaster gauze has dried, but not during, unless you want a deflated glue bottle. Once your entire glue bottle is covered with plaster strips, and you'll notice I'm overlapping some of the pieces so that you don't see any of the air pocket on the outside, then you'll need to wash your hands really well and get that plaster off before you go to the next step. You don't have to wait for the plaster to dry before diving in with your Model Magic. I'm going to create the label now that's going to go on my glue bottle. So I'm using blue Model Magic. I'm squishing it nice and flat, and now I'm going to use a pencil to try to make the sides nice and straight. The reason you want your clay nice and thin is because if it's too thick, it will crack as it dries. Even if your plaster's wet, go ahead and lay that label on there. Now let's make the orange for the tip of the glue bottle. So to make orange, as you geniuses know, you need red and yellow, ketchup and mustard. So here I am just blending my two colors together. If your orange is too red, then add more yellow. If your orange is too yellow, then you guessed it, add more red. There's two parts to the nozzle of the glue bottle. I'm going to start with making that little part where you twist it open to open the glue bottle. And for that, I rolled a ball, squished it flat, and made kind of a button shape. Now for the nozzle, I'm just forming this shape and tapping it a little bit on the table to make it flat. You could use a skewer or the back of a paintbrush to make the texture on the nozzle of the glue bottle. Just put that right on top and it will stay put. It's magical. Now I'm going to make the spilled glue, and your hands are about to get real sticky. You're going to actually use real glue and a piece of white yarn. You'll need to saturate or completely cover that white yarn by running it between your fingers that should be covered in glue. It's going to be super sticky. You'll need to work fast. And also, as you let this spilled glue dry, do it on plastic wrap, not on paper. Otherwise, it'll glue itself to the paper. And then kindly go wash your hands. They're quite disgusting. Yay! A spilled glue bottle. How much fun and how easy was that?